Yes, I'm an international tech speaker. I have spoken at different conferences. Uh, I have been to JS conference. I have been to React Boston. I have been to different and India. Yes, React Day, which happened few weeks back. React Day Bangalore. I was their keynote speaker, and I'm an open source not communicative contributor. I'm sorry, and I do calligraphy. And my Twitter handler is Hello Neha, Neha with double H. So yeah, this is about me. And on your right side, the picture you are looking at, this is from my recent trip in London. So yeah, this is about me. Now, understanding TDD. So basically, TDD is your test-driven development. Generally, what happens is whenever you will, I'm not sure how many developers are currently doing it, but I'm pretty confident most of the developers are. We write test cases once our component development or feature development is done. And that's not test driven development. That is just saying, that is just basically we are checking a box that yes, we have test cases. But test driven development is basically where you first write the test, which will get failed, obviously, because we don't have the code. We haven't written the code. And we write the code now to make sure our test is getting passed. It might sound very weird, but this is how test driven development work. Now, the second point I'm going to say, where you might lose your, you will say, oh, this is not practical. Test driven development is very useful when you have requirements, very clear requirements. And everyone knows that we never get clear requirements. But that doesn't mean that we should stop doing TDD. TDD helps you in two ways. I will give you the example first of on job and second interviews. Let me talk about on job first. You don't have the requirements. Everyone is pressurizing you for delivery. Sounds very familiar. I think everyone is going through that. But what you can do is to make sure that you are understanding requirement half baked, you can start writing test cases. And I'm not saying writing proper test cases. Again, there's a demo. I will show you how to tackle such situation. Start writing that and start asking question. It's like you are doing brainstorming in your test cases, also helping you to understand what are the scenarios are not clear, what are the requirements which are missing. Go back, ask your lead or ask your product person to give those requirements to you. Now, what will happen before writing a single line of code by using TDD, you have the list of all the requirements or scenarios you needed to cover in your code, and then you can start writing the code. Now, if you will look back, this will help you to refactor or, to keep going back to back your code and keep refactoring and ending up with a spaghetti code, because you will not start unless and until your requirements in your test case, in your TDD is not clear. And trust me, I don't think so any lead on any EM will say no to such approach, because what you are doing is you are now also acting like a requirement gathering with the help of TDD. So this is the job part. Now let's talk about the interview part. In most of the interview, I don't know if you have faced, but they ask that write the test cases and then write the code. So if you get into a code machine round, code machine round, where you don't know the solution and you need time to do brainstorming, what you can do is you can start from the test cases. You start writing, okay, this would be the one test I would like to do. This could be the second, this could be the third. And the same thing you are also doing there. You are again flipping the thought process. Instead of writing the code straightforwardly, you are now brainstorming in test cases. Now, what will happen? The interviewer who is interviewing you, that person will be pretty happy. Like if someone will be doing this with me, I will be pretty happy that, okay, this person do understand the importance of test cases and that's what that person is doing. And if by chance the person is not interested in TDD or test cases, to be honest, I don't think so. There would be, if the person is, at least you already sold one skill to that person that I know TDD, I know test cases. See, I'm starting from there. So in both cases, it's a win-win situation for you. So for test-driven development, writing your test cases first and then going back to your code to make sure your test cases are passing. So in first go, your test case will fail because there is no code we have written. Then we go back, we will write the code to pass it, and then we will refactor it. And we call it red refactor green or red green development. These are the words which go with these kind of technique. So this is TDD, which is here. First it will fail, which is red. Then we will refactor, and then we will make sure, we need to make sure that it is passing, which is green. Now, coming to the test case part now, that how a test case actually looks like. So there are 4 steps at a high level, I would say, and basically for most of the test cases, you will be using these 4 steps. The first step is you need to render the component we want to test. Non-negotiable, this is what you need to do. Unless and until there is no component is rendering, you can't test. Second is you need to find the elements which we want to interact. Basically, button. If there is a button I wanted to test, then I need to find that first, and then try to figure it out what I wanted to test in this. I wanted to test event. I wanted to check the content, or I wanted to check the attributes, what I wanted to check. So basically those things I need to identify, and I will interact with this. And the last and the most important, what exactly I want. I have done the click, but what this click should be. A click should happen, or how many times that click should happen, or after click, what should happen, that would be another thing. Or if there is a text, what that text should be. So last step, which is assert, we call it assertion. Assertion is basically basically you're passing your ultimate truth that this is what I want. So there you need to write that I want in this heading, this text should be there. Hello should be there, or Neha should be there, or React should be there, or hello world should be there. So now what we have to make sure that this assertion, the last step, should pass. So basically assertion means that this is what we want this particular test case to do. And rest of the steps before that are those steps which we will follow to make sure that assertion is getting passed. That's it. So 4 steps, and this is what make our one test block. So this is our test, and we are going to write a lot of repetitive test blocks like this. You will see that when we are doing unit testing, you will feel that, oh my God, we are repeating the same code again and again. Yes, we are. That's what the unit testing is, that we have to repeat a lot of things again and again, because we are breaking everything into units. Okay.